That's our special Monday opening credits of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, just to give you an extra couple of seconds. Bonus shot there. Hi, everybody. It's a live television show. We work without a net. It is Monday, 24th day of November, 2025. Happy Thanksgiving week. I'm Dan Kuntz. Short week for us. We'll be here working, not real hard, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Of course, we're going to be off on Thursday and Friday. 4-day weekend for us. Just give you a heads up on that. Clear skies, 37 degrees, quite a bit of sunshine today, a little breezy. Temperatures are going to start dropping down a little bit. There's a low pressure system that's going to come through the region a little bit later on today. We're going to see a lot of sunshine. Now, as far as precipitation is concerned, the National Weather Service is being honest with us. They say we really don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty, and there are all their computer models that they crunch together and try and figure out what exactly may happen towards the mid to back part of the week. Mountains are going to get some snow. We could get a light dusting of snow down here. The trade-off is that there's going to be a couple of times this week and into the weekend where the snow level is going to be about 1,000 feet, but there's no real moisture out there. So low snow level, but no real system to bring us the snow. All those details are coming up. There's a lot of news to get to. There usually is on a Monday. A lot of sports to get to. Seahawks, nicely done. They took their sweet time putting away Tennessee. They let the Titans get back into it, but road victory in the NFL is always a good thing. We'll have lots of sports to get to, plus highlights of Cashmere's victory in the quarterfinals over Life Christian Academy. We'll have that. In the back half of the program, Mike Malman give us a quick update on Serve Wenatchee Valley. Their Baskets of Blessings event is tomorrow. Not too late to donate. For that, we'll get a quick update from Mike Malman, and Mike Mignotti will chime in with an opinion because, well, Mike has opinions. Let's take our tour. Let's see what we have around here. Not quite sunrise yet. That is the Wenatchee Heights camera pointed down towards Rock Island. Sunrise this morning isn't until 7:19, so we're about 15 minutes away from that. Sunset tonight, 4:16. We're now under the 9-hour mark of daylight. It is 8 hours and 57 minutes of daylight, working our way to the winter solstice on December 21st, when we'll be down to 8 hours and 27 minutes of daylight. Good morning to Leavenworth from our Tumwater Canyon camera. Let me look here. Leavenworth, same as Wenatchee right now. 37 degrees here in Leavenworth. Good morning to Leavenworth. Sun still getting the job done there. Do we have the Lower Navarre camera up and running? We were debating. Oh, there it is. The Navarre Coulee Road. Heading on up to Lake Chelan to the state park. We have a camera there. We haven't really used it a great deal. That's the Navarre Coulee camera pointed towards Lake Chelan, basically. That way it's pointed, Navarre Coulee runs pretty much east to west, and it's pointed west towards Lake Chelan from our Lower Navarre Coulee camera, and all the way up tip-top to Billy Goat's. Good morning to the Billy Goat camera. Great view there. Probably a little cold now to play golf at Alta Lake or Gamble Sands. Golf courses are closed when it gets to this cold, and there's just not much daylight to play golf in. I mean, what's the point? 2 slides to show for you on this very important travel week. As far as snow, this is the percentage of the chances of getting at least an inch or more of snow starting tomorrow and going through Thanksgiving Eve. Now, Stevens Pass, as you can see, 89%. They're going to get snow. Stevens is going to get snow, about 5 to 9 inches of snow on Stevens Pass Tuesday, basically late afternoon, overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. That's going to be the heaviest amount of snow on all of the major mountain passes. I-90 is going to get a little bit of snow, not too much. Blewett is going to get a dusting of snow, but if you plan on taking Stevens Pass sometime this week, you might want to avoid Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. It's going to snow hard, but for a very brief period of time. For the more immediate future, until 10 o'clock today, Stevens is going to get about 2 to 3 inches of light snow, nothing really heavy, nothing we can't handle, and that's really about it. I-90, just a little dusting. Blewett, just a little dusting. So a couple of inches of snow, hit and miss snow until 10 o'clock tonight, and then the real snow on Stevens Pass, again, about 5 to 9 inches, will be Tuesday, starting about 2 o'clock in the afternoon until overnight into early morning on Wednesday. That is Stevens Pass. That's going to get the most amount of snow. And again, it's just going to be too dry down here for us to get snow. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee. It's where comfort, care, and community come together. After a high of only 43 yesterday, in fact, our high and our low, our high was 43 on Sunday, our low was 39. We only had a 4-degree difference there. Much bigger difference with a high of 46, quite a bit of sunshine, a little breezy, especially this afternoon as this cold front comes through, which is why our overnight low is going to be below freezing for the first time in a while. And then we're talking about some precipitation on Tuesday. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to be cold. As you can see, only 38, below normal for the afternoon high. There is a 60% chance of precipitation. Now, the snow level is going to be at about 1,200 feet in the evening hours on Tuesday. So I don't think the valley floor is going to get any snow, but the foothills are going to get a light dusting of snow Tuesday and on into Tuesday night. The snow level Tuesday night is 1,800 feet, 33 for the overnight low, about a 70% chance of precipitation on Tuesday night. Snow level Wednesday above the valley floor, about 2,700 feet. So we're looking at rain on Wednesday. For Thanksgiving Eve, Wednesday night, rain. 34 for the overnight low, good chance of rain. And gobble, 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 gobble. Thanksgiving Day, lots of clouds, high of about 42 and about a 50% chance of rain. Your afternoon highs and your overnight lows about normal for this time of the year. But as I mentioned before, the National Weather Service is admitting we really don't have a good grasp starting by about Wednesday on what may or may not happen. We'll know more tomorrow. You'll know more about what's going on around here in 2 minutes with the news. You're watching a Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. I've been helping people for nearly a decade understand their Medicare options. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand coverage options so you can feel confident in your Medicare decision. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or see me at my office in Wenatchee with easy parking and entrance.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Clear skies, it's 39 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. Quite a bit of sunshine, a little wind is going to make it feel a little colder than about 43 or 44 for our afternoon highs. So we're talking about some rain showers in the Wenatchee Valley and some snow in the upper elevations. It's at 9 minutes after the hour. One young occupant in a speeding car is dead. 2 others seriously injured after a head-on 2-vehicle crash on Friday evening. Wenatchee police say they may have been involved in an illegal street race when the collision occurred. It happened at about 7 o'clock Friday night near the Easy Street roundabout. According to police, they say the driver of a gray 2018 Audi was apparently racing another vehicle on North Wenatchee Avenue before taking the off-ramp at a high rate of speed to head eastbound on Highway 2. Well, the Audi crossed the center line and struck an oncoming GMC pickup. The driver, an 18-year-old from Wenatchee, was airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle in critical condition, along with 1 juvenile passenger. The 3rd occupant of the Audi, also a juvenile, pronounced dead at the scene. Police did not immediately identify the crash victims. Witnesses say the Audi driver may have been racing a Honda Civic. Anybody with information about the crash is asked to contact the Wenatchee Police Department. The Bridgeport woman who was accused of stabbing another woman in the face while the victim was at work at a convenience store has now been formally charged with assault. 43-year-old Monica Mercado faces trial in Douglas County Court on counts of first-degree assault and malicious mischief. Sheriff deputies were called to the market a week ago Saturday after Mercado allegedly attacked the victim with a bladed weapon during a dispute over a mutual boyfriend. She's also accused of slashing the front tires of the victim's car. Mercado remains held in the Chelan County Jail on a $100,000 bond. She is scheduled to be arraigned in Waterville this morning. The Wenatchee City Council approved a $229 million budget for 2026 on Thursday. It's the largest budget the city has ever adopted. Brad Posenjak is the finance director for the city. He told the council that the budget for 2026 would be, quote, tight, end quote. The approval caps several weeks of concern about how lean the city's finances would be next year. Back in October, the city was projecting a $1.2 million deficit in the general fund. That gap was later reduced to about $180,000. Posenjak says that while 2026 will still be constrained, he expects the city to finish the year in the positive.
We knew going into this process this was going to be a very tight budget, and so we held back quite a bit this year to try to be as safe and conservative as we could to get this budget adopted. And I do want to thank all the directors, the leadership, city council, the mayor, finance committee. This was not an easy budget to get through, but I do feel like we are in a good spot for 2026.
A judge ruled Thursday that a California man's statements to highway patrol officers cannot be used as evidence in his trial over a fatal 2022 auto crash. Film Anthony Guyan of San Jose, charged with vehicular homicide and the 2022 death of 40-year-old Shane R. Walsh, a Leavenworth motorcyclist that Guyan struck on Highway 2 south of Coles Corner. Guyan's Infiniti sedan was traveling west in the eastbound lane trying to pass traffic when it struck Walsh head-on. Before he was arrested, Guyan allegedly told Washington State Patrol troopers he had one beer prior to driving and was having difficulty seeing the roadway. He passed a field sobriety test at the scene. Chelan County Judge Travis Brandt ruled on Thursday that all of Guyan's statements to police prior to being informed of his rights cannot be brought before a jury. Guyan remains free on bond. He's scheduled for trial on December 2nd. Link Transit, the Valley's public transportation agency, is in the market for a new head guy, a new CEO. Nick Covey is going to retire from that post at the end of June of next year. He's held the role since July of 2023. That's when he replaced longtime CEO Richard DeRock. Covey has been with Link for more than 30 years, serving in positions including Chief of Staff and Finance Director before he took the top job. Travis Hornby, who sits on the board of directors of Link, says the search will now begin for a new candidate to take Covey's place. Link Transit has been serving bus riders in our area since 1991. A habitat restoration project to reconnect the lower Peshastin Creek to its historical channel is done. Took a decade of planning and 2 years of construction. Peshastin Creek's path was cut off by an access road to the Dryden Dam back in 1975, and the new channel created faster moving water that was less hospitable to fish. The project rebuilt 1,000 feet of the creek's historical channel above its connection to the Wenatchee River, cleaned up contamination, and improved vital habitat for threatened and endangered fish species. Over 2,000 cubic yards of rock, vegetation, and lead-contaminated soil was removed, and 3,500 cubic yards of material was added to create the new stream bed. The project was led by Cascade Fisheries and the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. Wenatchee High School students now have another opportunity to earn college credits through the Enhanced Accelerated Pathways program. Students can take college in the high school classes to complete a full associate's degree or earn college credit without having to leave the campus. The program gives them the option to complete the full 2-year degree or complete core classes accredited through Central Washington University, which transfers to any public university in our state. Specialized programs like early childhood education or engineering technology can also be mostly completed at the high school and then finished at Wenatchee Valley College. All college courses offered through the Accredited Pathways program is free, and the Wenatchee School District estimates students will save between $15,000 to $30,000 in college costs. And a symposium focused on mental health is coming to the Wenatchee Valley College next month. The event, called Mental Health Literacy Through Community Collaboration, will bring together community organizations who are working to address mental health crises in our communities. Attendees will learn about capacity building, youth and family prevention, and how a sense of belonging supports positive mental health. Participating organizations include Columbia Valley Community Health, Catholic Charities, Together for Youth, and the Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs. It's going to be at the McGuire Center on December 4th, and you can register by going to the Our Valley, Our Future website. That's what's happening here on this Monday. The gang will be back together in the newsroom to put together a newscast so you can find out what's going on around here. The NCW Life Evening News, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television, 5, 6, and 10 as we air it in the traditional way. A lot of people are unplugged, and that's cool. If you have the internet, you can watch the news too. We try to make it as accessible as possible. Our news will be posted on our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock. It'll be on our homepage right around 5 o'clock. Don't forget, we stream constantly on our homepage at ncwlife.com. We're on Roku. We're on Amazon Fire. We're on Apple TV. We have an app. I'm out of fingers. If you have a news tip, give me a call. Well, better yet, send me an email. I don't even know my own phone number at the desk. The email address is news@ncwlife.com. Sports and a lot of it is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. Tour moseslake.com and start your adventure today.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Sports at 19 minutes after the hour. Sam Darnold, good game. Threw for 244 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Seahawks beat the Titans in Nashville Yesterday, the final was 30-24, make that 5 wins now in 6 games for the Hawks. Darnold put the Seahawks ahead to stay with a 63-yard touchdown pass to Jackson Smith-Njigba in the second quarter. By the way, Smith-Njigba finishes with 8 catches for a season-high 167 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, and he set Seattle's single-season receiving yards mark, and he just took him 11 games to do it. He has 1,313 yards now on the season. That beats DK Metcalf's record of 1,303 yards set back in 2020. Seattle is back at Lumen Field on Sunday afternoon. They'll take on the Minnesota Vikings. By the way, the Vikings lost yesterday to the Packers. The final was 23-6. To the NFC West scoreboard, there's the Seahawks victory over Tennessee. LA continues their stranglehold on first place. They beat the Buccaneers and wasn't even that close, 34-7. Cardinals stubbed their toe against the Jacksonville Jaguars, 27-24. Monday Night Football tonight as the 49ers hosting the Carolina Panthers at 5:15 on ESPN. College football scoreboard may have been the very last home game in UCLA history at the Rose Bowl. They're trying to get out of their contract after 43 years, and the Huskies rolled over the Bruins 48-14. Cougars could not score much in the second half. It was a close game all the way into the fourth quarter, and then James Madison pulled ahead and pulled out the victory 24-20. Eastern, they lost to Cal Poly on the road. The final was 43-34, and for Central Washington, their playoff one and done. Western Colorado beats Central Washington in Ellensburg on Saturday afternoon, 27-20. Seattle Kraken have played 22 games so far this year, and 10 of those 22 games have gone to overtime, including both games they played over the weekend. Nice victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins on Saturday in overtime. The final there was 3-1. Both the Islanders and the Kraken looked really tired yesterday, but the Islanders pulled it out 1-0 in overtime. Seattle goes 2-1-1 in their 4-game road trip. They're back in the Emerald City Wednesday to take on Dallas at 7 o'clock on Kong TV. Well, 3 prep football teams from our area have moved on to the state semifinals over the weekend. First of all, Moses Lake scored 41 points, but that wasn't nearly enough because Lake Stevens scored 76 points. Moses Lake season comes to an end. Lake Stevens got the job done there. And Kashmir rolled over Life Christian Academy 59-16 Saturday afternoon to leave off the field of the Apple Bowl. Avery Cooper and Steve Sandman had the call on AM 1340 The Hawk.
This is going to be a pass play. You know it's coming.
Man in motion. Evans. Boyd looks to his left. Now he twists around to his right. Avoids Fox. Steps up. Throws over the middle. Is intercepted! To the 30. Braylon Rubio to the 20. Down at the 16-yard line. Odenreiter, the tight end to the left. Zavala in the slot to the right, bunched up with Strutzel. Now Zavala in motion. Fake the handoff to him. It's a fade route to the far near side. Spees caught. Touchdown Bulldogs. 8 yards out. Hatmaker to Spees. 6-0 Kashmir.
Well, he likes that corner route, and he's thrown it many times this year.
Wide receiver to his left. Boyd fakes the handoff. He's got pressure in his face. It is Jacobson taking him down for the sack. He had no time to get that ball off.
Defensive player of the year in the SCAC, and now we see why.
Tate, the running back to the right. Fake the handoff. Hatmaker goes over the middle deep. He has Spees caught in the end zone. Touchdown Bulldogs.
Spees, unbelievable. Double coverage. Got behind both the safety and the cornerback to haul in that play for a 22-yard touchdown.
From the right hash mark. Pressure coming. Up, stepping up in the pocket. Boyd makes a man miss. Takes off, across the 10 to the 5. Cuts it back upfield. Touchdown Life Christian Academy. Hatmaker swings it to the flat near side. Has Zavala at the 25 to the 20. He's got a hole. 10, 5 to the goal line. Shoved out of bounds at the 1. Strutzel back into the game to the bottom of the formation. Handed off to Tate. He fights right into the end zone and bulldozes a defender for the touchdown. They haven't had many opportunities, though. Life Christian Academy has done a decent job taking care of the ball. And you're underway here in the second half. Zavala fakes the pitch off to Bessonette. Now Zavala is in the clear to the 40, 45. He's got blockers to the 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Bulldogs.
No flags.
Isaac Zavala, 80 yards. 28-10, Kashmir. Pressure coming. Boyd gets the snap. And he's dropped in the backfield for a sack. Another one for Gray Jacobson.
That's a 9-yard loss. Gray Jacobson, what a play on defense.
Berggren in motion to the left. Handed off to Berggren. Stutter step as he lowers his shoulders and fights his way to the end zone. Touchdown Bulldogs. 35-10, Kashmir leads in the quarterfinal round of the WIAA playoffs.
Congratulations to Kashmir. By the way, the defending champion Royal defended their home turf. These two teams, Royal and Kashmir, are on a collision course. It looks that way. They won 48-10. OMAC season, by the way, ended in a 32-22 loss to Mount Baker. And for the smaller schools, Okanagan survives. Okanagan goes to Freeman and beats the Scotties. Well done, Okanagan, in the 2B playoffs. 34-32 was the final there. Liberty Bell fell to Tri-Cities Prep 55-12. Their season comes to an end. Amira Cooley Heartline moves on to the semifinals. They beat Nacelle 61-26. So here's your schedule. Semifinals, all these games are on Saturday. Number 2 seeded Kashmir will take on number 3 seeded Mount Baker. Saturday, 3 o'clock, Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Royal gets another home game. Again, Saturday at 3 o'clock, they'll host Linden Christian. So the top 4 seeds in 1A are the last 4 teams remaining. In the 2B bracket, Okanagan will travel to Toledo. That'll be Saturday at noon. And in the 1B bracket in the state semifinals, Amira Cooley Heartline will travel down to Walla Walla to take on DeSales Saturday at 3 o'clock. The Wenatchee Panther girls volleyball team won their first match, won their second match, went all the way to the state semifinals where they lost to Curtis. The final there was 3-1. They won the first set against Curtis, 25-23, then Curtis took the next 3, 25-20, 25-18, and 24-17. So Wenatchee played for the third place trophy, and they swept Gonzaga Prep 3-0, 25-17, 25-20, 26-24. So for the last 5 years, the Wenatchee Panther girls volleyball team, 5 consecutive Big 9 championships, 5 consecutive District 5 championships. They finished first, third, and third. Over the last 3 years, they have a bit of a dynasty going. So in case you missed it, the Prep volleyball champions, now that the season is over, and here they are, their 4A champions, Lake Stevens, your 3A champions, North Thurston. Linden won the 2A championship. Of course, as you know, last week, Chelan won the 1A championship for their 6th consecutive state championship. Northwest Christian, the 2B state champions, and Garfield Palouse, the 1B state champions. Prep soccer wrapped up over the weekend. Your state champions in the 5 divisions. In the 4A, Mount Si wins their first ever state championship. 3A state champion is Bellevue. West Valley out of Spokane won the 2A championship over the weekend. Cedar Park Christian won the 1A championship, and in the combined 1B, 2B, Cross Point Christian wins the girls' state soccer championship. And the Wenatchee Wild went up to Kamloops, and they got doubled up. The Blazers beat the Wild. The final there was 4-2. But now the Wenatchee Wild are back. They have 4 consecutive home games over the Thanksgiving holiday. It begins Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, 6 o'clock with the Vancouver Giants in town. Austin Drade will be joining me tomorrow on this program. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. 3 obscure holidays you can celebrate your unique talent day. A lot of people have unique talents. They just don't know what it is. If you can isolate mine, I would appreciate it. It's D.B. Cooper Day today. We're going to get to that in just a little bit, but we're talking about a little fish that people either love or they hate. It's National Sardines Day. I don't know of anything that swims in the ocean that you can eat that divides people more than sardines. They either love sardines or they hate them. If you like them, enjoy, because there's a lot of things about sardines that are really good for you. They are vitamins, minerals, omega-3 fatty acids like most fish. But yes, sardines is an acquired taste. There's no doubt about that. Sardines range in length from little bitty fishies to, they can go 6 inches, 12 inches. Yeah, there are actually big sardines. Apparently they got their name from Sardinia, the Mediterranean island, where apparently they used to be quite numerous. Why? I don't know. I mean, it's been a long time since I had sardines. It's just that when you open that tin of sardines and you look at them, you're going, Do you have to keep the eyes on? I don't like to eat anything that's looking back at me. Happy National Sardine Day today. 29 minutes after the hour, today in history. It was a big package and right outside of a church in downtown Milwaukee. Maud Richter found it. She was a social worker who worked at the church. The church was across the street from the downtown Milwaukee police station. She called the janitor. The janitor took it down to the basement, said, I don't know what this package is. Let's take it across the street to the police department. So the janitor and Maud took the package across the street to the downtown Milwaukee Police Department. At that time, in the early morning hours of November 24th, 1917, there was a shift change going on, so there was a lot of people in the squad room. Turns out the package was a bomb. One of the lieutenants on hand, the shift commander, began to open the package. They were trying to figure out what it is. The package detonated. 9 Milwaukee police officers were killed immediately, and a 10th fatality, a civilian who happened to be standing next to the bomb when it detonated. 9 cops and a civilian dead. The worst terrorist attack against the United States Police Department until the September 11th attacks. They thought it was a package. They took it to the police station. It was a bomb. It has the perpetrators of this crime never discovered. 62 years ago today, Lee Harvey Oswald, Sunday morning, November 24th, 1963, being transferred to the Dallas County Jail from the city jail in the basement. It was a small, cramped room, and they realized there just wasn't that much room, and so they decided just one television camera would provide the pool feed to ABC, CBS, and NBC. NBC had the pool camera. They decided to televise the transfer of Lee Harvey Oswald live on television, and this is what people on NBC watched on Sunday morning, November 24th, 1963.
There is Lee Oswald. He's been shot. He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot. There's the man with a gun. It's absolute panic. Absolute panic here in the basement of Dallas Police Headquarters. The detectives have their guns drawn. Oswald has been shot. There is no question about it. Oswald has been shot.
NBC carried it live. CBS and ABC took the feed and showed it just a few minutes afterwards. National television on Sunday, November 24th, 1963. And D.B. Cooper, during a severe thunderstorm over our state, a hijacker calling himself Dan Cooper, eventually it got miscombobulated into D.B. Cooper, demanded $200,000 in ransom money and a parachute from a Northwest Airlines flight. He jumped out. The legend of D.B. Cooper began on this date 54 years ago today. Here's the news.
36 passengers got off the jetliner in Seattle last night. Left aboard 4 crew members and the hijacker, dressed in a business suit demanding $200,000 and carrying a plain briefcase which he told the crew held explosives. With the full ransom collected from Seattle banks and 4 parachutes aboard, the plane headed for Reno. It took 3.5 hours, slow for a jet, but the hijacker had given detailed flight instructions. The rear stairwell was open all the way. It arrived at Reno in shreds. The crew, here being debriefed by the FBI, was told to fly low over Oregon's flatlands with the flaps down. The speed dropped to 200 miles per hour. Somewhere, the hijacker parachuted away with the money. The crew had little to say.
We gave the information to the authorities, and we just don't want to discuss it any further.
Have you been told by the FBI not to discuss?
No, they handle their investigation, and my company would rather have it released through them.
Tina, were you with the rest of the crew during the flight after you left the ground the last time?
Yes, I went up to the cockpit.
None of you were within sight of the hijacker, right?
Right. We already talked about it, and the captain,
how did you surmise that he was not on the plane when he landed in Reno?
Well, a search was made of the plane immediately after landing.
As we understood it, he could have gotten off as the plane taxied before it came up here. How did the crew know he wasn't on when it touched ground?
Way. The crew couldn't know that, but we had the airport covered.
Are the authorities now searching for the man?
Snow covers the mountains in northern California and Nevada, a hostile terrain for any parachute drop, especially at night. Police believe he left the 727 in the flatlands of Oregon or Washington, but they are still looking in 4 states, even around the airport. Authorities began their search here, thinking the hijacker may have jumped off at the end of the runway as the plane touched down. But the problem is more complex. A daring parachute escape from a flying 727 somewhere between Reno and Seattle, Washington.
There are those who like to think that he got away with it, that D.B. Cooper made off with the dough. I'm convinced that he died that very night. All circumstances point to the fact that he didn't make it. Keep in mind, even if D.B. Cooper did actually survive the jump, he'd probably be dead now. He'd be like almost 90, but anyway, D.B. Cooper, the legend, was born 54 years ago today. Let's do some birthdays. We always do presidents, not so much a failed president as a forgotten president. Zachary Taylor, the 12th president of the United States, born in the state in 1784. He only served 16 months. And about 30 years ago, there was a rumor that he died of arsenic poisoning. They actually dug up his body. He didn't die of arsenic poisoning. Yeah, he's more of one of our forgotten presidents, a caretaker president. And back in those days, if you're a war hero, you're a presidential candidate by default, and he was a war hero. His victories in the Mexican-American War made him somebody that the political parties wanted at the top of their ticket. Nobody really knew what he believed in, politically wise. Zachary Taylor, the last president, he was neither a Democrat nor a Republican. He was a Whig, and he became the first president when he was elected as the 12th president to be elected president without having been elected to any office prior. Zachary Taylor, the 12th president, born in the state in 1784. The legendary Tommy Allsup, one of the great guitarists of all time, one of the last member of the Crickets. It was Tommy Allsup who lost the coin flip to Ritchie Valens for that 4th and final seat on the ill-fated plane on February 3rd, 1959. It was supposed to be Tommy Allsup, Waylon Jennings, and Buddy Holly, along with Roger Peterson, the pilot. We all know what happened. Tommy Allsup had given his wallet to Buddy Holly before Buddy got on the plane because he had a certified letter waiting for him in Fargo, North Dakota, which is where they were supposed to land. And so they found 4 bodies and 5 wallets. And for a couple of hours there, Tommy Allsup's parents thought he died in the plane crash. She had to call them up and say, I didn't. And by the way, for a while there in the 80s and 90s, Tommy Allsup owned a saloon in Texas called the Heads Up Saloon. Tommy Allsup, born in the state in 1931, and Donald Duck Dunn, one of the greatest bass guitarists in rock and roll history, a member of Booker T and the MGs. There's Donald Duck Dunn from the Less is More school. We miss the duck. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Gonna get cold. It hasn't really gotten cold yet this autumn. You know it's gonna get cold, and your system's gonna be doing some serious cooking, baby. Make sure it's ready to go. Have Alpine Air give it a quick look-see. You don't want that sucker breaking down when it gets really cold. Mike Minotti's got an opinion coming up, and then we check in with Mike Malman, Chief Hope Officer of Serve Wenatchee Valley. Baskets of Blessings is tomorrow. Mike, when we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Birthdays, office gatherings, and team parties taste better at Abby's. From our legendary lunch and Thirsty Thursday to our monthly giant special, there's always a reason to gather. Family-owned Abby's, your legendary pizza tradition. You asked, and it's back at Abby's. 2 legends, 1 pizza. Half pepperoni, half big Hawaiian. All delicious. It's mouthwatering, loaded with toppings, and happily feeds a family. Order at abbys.com before this legend disappears.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I think it's safe to say that all of us here today, myself included, have at one time or another committed a criminal act. You know, shoplifting, driving after you drank too much, you name it. Now, does this make you a criminal? No, it does not. In his excellent book, Inside the Criminal Mind, criminologist Stanton Samenow explains that criminality is a lifestyle, it's a belief system, yes. He says we've all done things that are aberrant to our behavior, to our nature, but this does not make us criminals. Now, with this in mind, I'm going to say that if an individual takes incredible risks to do what is necessary to obtain a better life for themselves and their family, and does so by seeking the dream of freedom that our great nation offers, and by doing so enters this country without documentation, this does not make them a criminal. No, it doesn't. No. Ask me how I really feel. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
When flooding hit Serve Wenatchee, their office in Fresh Hope Market were devastated. But their mission to help prevent homelessness in this valley hasn't stopped, and neither will we. I'm Todd McLaughlin, General Manager at Apple Valley Honda. Now through the end of the year, we're donating $25 to Serve Wenatchee every time someone takes a test drive. And if you happen to buy a vehicle, we'll give an additional $100 in your name. Because when our neighbors are in need, this community steps up, and we're proud to be part of that.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at merrymaidesofwenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed, so relax. It's done.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
This guy has been in the news way too much lately for reasons we wish didn't happen. We all know what happened back in October with the broken pipe and the flood. And Mike just showed me a video of the actual flooding that was going on at Serve Wenatchee's headquarters on Arundel. Mike Malman is the Chief Hope Officer of Serve Wenatchee Valley. You found a new home, and I got your newsletter a couple of days ago, Mike. I am not surprised at what happened afterwards with the community. I don't think you were either. I figured people are going to pull together. They're going to help your organization. They're going to donate time. They're going to donate labor. They're going to donate money. They're going to do whatever it is to keep your operation up and running. But this is more than I was expecting. Even I can't imagine what you were listening.
You know, I wanted to talk about that this morning, and you said in a sense I was not surprised. I thought there would be a response to get us back up and running. But the scope, the size of the response has been far larger than anything I imagined. We are up and running. One of the things, we with the government shutdown and with the SNAP uncertainty, the food stamp uncertainty, we were when we reopened and decided we were even, because of the wellspring of support and because of the need in our community, we would increase our food distribution. So we've actually, since our restart at the new location, increased the amount of food a client can receive by 25%. So that's pretty significant for a family. It really adds up.
And you have a little bit more elbow room than you did.
The market's actually smaller.
The market's smaller, yeah.
But everything else is a little bit bigger. It's a great location for us. The United Methodist Church Pacific Northwest Conference has been so gracious to us getting in that space. But we're constant, because it's a little smaller, we're sort of restocking in real time all the time. We've got another big room that we keep food backed up in and then get it out on the shelves as quickly as possible.
You lost your refrigeration units, you lost your freezer units, those big commercial things that took up an entire wall.
Correct.
What's up with that? Is that they're unsalvageable? So.
They are unsalvageable, and so our insurance will pay to replace that. We really haven't submitted much with the claim yet. It's been mostly getting up and running because, you know, with the lighthouse shut down, with the Wenatchee Rescue Mission reducing its box program, and then us being shut down, it created a real vacuum. And so job one for us was to get back up and running
as soon as possible.
As soon as possible, and we were so grateful that we were able to get up and running as quickly as we did.
And your clients and your patrons are finding your new location without any problem at all?
Yeah, they are, and it's been full. We seem, since we've reopened, to be booked a little further out, so people are getting in line earlier. I will say this, when I announced that we were reopening and said we'd be opening a week, we had people starting to show up a week out, and we said get online and book a time and meet with our people. And so the need right now seems to be high. It normally is this time of year. I was in the market yesterday, and it's just interesting to look at our clients and hear their stories and whatnot. But there are some costs that are up right now, and it's impacting all of us. But for those at the lower end of the wage scale, it impacts them at a much higher level.
You have a board of directors that you are answerable to. Kudos to them.
Yeah,
they've come through.
They have been fantastic support for me during this time. They've been resourceful. They have been finding ways to get us up and running. It's nice to have a group of leaders that clearly understand your mission, clearly understand the importance of it, and did whatever they could to get us back up and running, and gave staff the freedom to be creative and think a little bit in new and different ways so that we could get up and running quickly.
Thursday is Thanksgiving. For a long, long time, they just used to make dinner and serve a Thanksgiving dinner to those people who wanted a Thanksgiving dinner. No questions asked. They switched it over to baskets of blessings 15 years ago, maybe.
Probably,
now?
Yeah.
Right around there, which has actually turned out to be a much better idea. And it's that time of the year again. Thanksgiving is Thursday. Give us an update on baskets of blessings.
It's a great, one of the reasons we can serve a lot more people through the baskets program than we could by doing a community meal. We do 500 Thanksgiving meals that could feed 5 or 6 people easily. And so you multiply that out, and we're impacting thousands of people with these baskets that we will be giving away next Tuesday. I will tell you that this year, this is a pre-registration event. We reach out to our clients, folks that we know are struggling, to fill it up first, and we allow people to sign up after that. I will tell you, we filled it up in a day. It was a rapid response when registration opened. And so the need is really there right now. Fundraising has been great. I received an email this morning saying we had exceeded our goal, so anything that comes in over the goal will go directly into our market to buy food for clients moving forward. And we've had, partially because of the flood, our volunteers sign up was quick, full, spectacular, and so we're raring to go. One of the things I guess maybe I'm most proud about is my staff, and that with the exception of having our food bank curtailed for a couple of weeks, everything went on full speed ahead. We expanded food service. We were able to do Coats for Kids, in October. as we normally would. We've got Baskets of Blessing coming up, and then the Glory of Christmas gift giveaway for children and teens, a few weeks after that. And so it speaks to the resiliency of the organization that was caused by the efforts of this community. And so it's fantastic to see neighbors helping neighbors. We are, Dan, we're all local, and our funds are all local, and our clients are all local, and our donors are all local, our businesses, our churches. These are people that are deeply tied to the Valley, and the fact that people stepped up to help in such a significant way is just, it makes my heart, I just burst.
Is there is there someplace in the Bible where we can talk about something that you guys had something really bad happen to you, and yet you're not only emerging bigger and stronger than ever, but now more people than ever know about the mission of Serve Wenatchee Valley because something bad happened?
Well, yeah, it's funny, there's a story of Joseph in the Old Testament, and he's sold into slavery by his brothers. He gets elevated into the king's household. He sets aside food for famine. He reunites with his brothers, and after being sold into slavery and beaten, falsely accused of all sorts of things, he feeds a nation, and he says, what the devil intended for evil, God used for good. And that's what happened here. There was it wasn't evil necessarily, but it was catastrophic, and it could have wiped out a thing, but instead it caused people to rally around us. It helped us to get a lot of food in the market very quickly. Our food that was in the market at the time of the flood, basically we were able to salvage cans on the top shelf, but everything in our market was destroyed. It was just it's interesting to see how bad things can cause good things. And that's exactly what happened here.
Well, to that end, are you and your board and your leadership kind of thinking, okay, what is the future of Serve Wenatchee Valley? Let's talk about our organization maybe 2 or 5 years down the road. The need will always be there. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of started that process?
Well, we were already discussing it. In some ways, it's sort of expedited it. We had been in conversations about how do we, because of our limited space, how do we get more food into clients' hands? Because certainly what we were doing provides food for them maybe for a week or two, but it's not probably enough for a lot of our people. And with a couple of the other significant food banks in town shutting down, this really kind of opened up a conversation of what is our role, how can we expand that role? And so expanding our food service is really a priority for us. It's largely dependent on the space we have available, so we're trying to think creatively how we can use existing spaces, what we can do with warehousing, that kind of things. And I've got a couple people in the community working on this for me right now, trying to figure out how we can creatively, with the resources we currently have, do more to help people that are struggling.
We need to give a shout out to a bunch of folks for the baskets of blessings. It was a basic $49 cash donation to your organization, provided the complete Thanksgiving meal. And there's a reason that you can buy that much food for just $49. There's a reason for that, Mike.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have some sources that really work with us. The Wenatchee Avenue Grocery Outlet, Kevin and Tanya, Richmond. They go over and above for us, and so we get the best deal on prices. We're buying in massive bulk. If you haven't seen 400 turkeys and 200 chickens in one location, it's an impressive thing.
As opposed to just 2 turkeys in the studio.
Yeah.
Ta-da. Yeah, thank you very much. Holiday season begins next week on Thursday with Thanksgiving, and then you hop into another significant events coming into December.
Yeah, we partner with the North Central Washington Toy Drive and Les Schwab. We're one of their distribution points for gifts for children and teens, and that will take place in December on the 16th at the Nazarene Church. That's a big one for us. I think I looked yesterday. I think we're planning for about 300 gifts for about 300 children. What I like about that event is that it's not an event where the children show up and pick out a toy. It's an event where mom and dad come and pick out a toy and then get to give it to their child on Christmas morning. And, one of our core values is dignity. And the thought of a parent that's struggling a little bit financially, getting to give a brand new gift to their kids or gifts to their kids, what it does to those children and their relationship with their parents is significant. And so that's one I really love.
Have you had a chance personally to take a break? I mean, ever since this flood, it's been over a month now since you had your little accident, for lack of a better term. Mike Malvin, personally, are you saying I really need to maybe take a couple of days off because?
Yeah, that'll probably happen in January. I did have last weekend. I had 2 days off back to back, which is the first time that's happened since September. And it's a season, and I recognize it as a season. I've been working hard to try to carve, in again biblical terms, a Sabbath, a day of rest. And I've done pretty good at that. But it's been a lot of long hours, but they've been very gratifying hours because of how our staff, my operations manager, Shelley Monda, how all these folks have worked together to get us back going. It's been a delight.
Got about a minute left, Mike. Anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah, let's talk about
how do people help you out?
Yeah, Christmas Campaign for Hope.
Please.
People don't realize that, December is typically for nonprofits the biggest giving month. We rely on Christmas time donations to carry us through the first several months of the new year, because that's when giving tends to be down. So we really need people to consider partnering with us on our Christmas Campaign for Hope. They can go to servewenatchee.org, click on Campaign for Hope, and make a contribution there if they feel led.
And a lot of your patrons are seasonal workers through no fault of their own. They still live in the Wenatchee Valley over the winter months, but they're not drawing a paycheck, or at least not a paycheck.
Yeah, and even some of the drawing a paycheck are. I was in a market yesterday.
Right.
We had a housekeeper dressed in her housekeeping uniform from one of our area hotels. She's working full time. I talked to her. It just doesn't make ends meet in the valley, because housing costs are west side costs now.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Beautiful morning, 37 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. The snow level is going to get down Tuesday night into Wednesday to about 1,200 feet here in the Wenatchee Valley, but it will probably start out as a rain-snow mix and then switch over to rain, because it's going to be fairly mild as you transition from Tuesday night into Wednesday. Heads up, though, on Stevens Pass. This is the one thing where the National Weather Service is pretty confident about this. Stevens Pass, Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday morning for about a 12-hour period there, from about 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon till about 4 a.m. Wednesday morning. Stevens is going to get about 5 to 9 inches of snow as a low pressure system rolls through. Heads up on that. Sunshine today and a high of 46, partly cloudy tonight, 30 for the overnight low. Again, the snow level is going to be down to about 1,200 feet on Tuesday night, but we'll just get a little dusting of snow. It's probably going to be rain more than snow, at least here in the Wenatchee Valley. Have a good and safe Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.